For every unbelievably great NBA record, there's also one that's unbelievably embarrassing. These are the best versus worst NBA records. And first up, we got Rudy Gobert with an absolutely wild record. Because for a guy known for protecting the rim, he just straight violated it for the entire year.
Back to Gobert. Take it up, big man. Oh! Hammer down! They're handling the ball okay. Rudy on top. Inside, Gobert and a foul.
Some of those are just magic, but nowhere near as magical as the record itself. 306 dunks in a single year. Gobert was looking like he was supposed to be on the Globetrotters, but he's not the only player who put on a show for his record. Because even though LeBron's one of the greatest all time, he's given up the ball more than anyone else in history. Sometimes because he went for a quarterback slide out of nowhere. Sometimes because he got lost in the sauce. But sometimes it's just him straight up choking.
And then James dribbles it off his leg.
Monk back to LeBron. LeBron stumbles, has it, throws it away.
And with those awful giveaways taken into account, LeBron sits at 5,000 career turnovers and counting. But to be clear, as bad as this stat is, most guys never even get enough minutes to even get that many turnovers. And some guys spend their time differently anyway. Like when Draymond Green posted one of the strangest triple-doubles ever. Because during the Lakers game against the Grizzlies, he only hit 4 points. But despite scoring less than Ben Simmons, he still hit 12 rebounds, 10 steals, 10 assists, and 5 blocks.
Draymond's done it. There's the new Warrior franchise record. The first triple-double in franchise history, not including points.
Draymond was straight up hacking the game that night, unlike James Harden, who looked like he was the one getting hacked in 2016.
5 blocks for Allen. Harden lost the ball again.
Although Harden once set a record for the most turnovers in a playoff game, somehow that's not even his worst record. In the 2016-17 season, he coughed up the ball 464 times. And yet, the crazy part, he was the MVP finalist that year. They really just be giving nominations to anyone these days. But someone who definitely got the vote they deserved was Dwight Howard. See, Dwight Howard was the kind of big where you didn't guard him, you braced for impact. Bro could turn every missed shot into a second chance and every lob into domination.
Escaping Holiday, the lob for Howard. Oh, man.
But Dwight wasn't just flashy for the camera. He owns the record for it. 2,950 career dunks. Shaq is obviously the next closest, and even he is off by over 300. To be fair though, when you watch Dwight hit them, they just hit different.
Hard for Turkoglu to see.
Alley-oop. Howard at the buzzer. Dwight Howard climbs through the roof.
My man was out there playing NBA Jam in real life, which is something that is seriously rare, because scoring in the NBA is hard, and assists are like brain surgery. But steals are basically a gamble. Blocks are just jumping at the right time, and rebounds, well, that pretty much just go wherever who wants it more. And yet, during the Heat's game against the Trailblazers in 2011, my man Joel Anthony, he couldn't get anything for a record 28 minutes and 46 seconds.
Oh my, nobody home. Joel Anthony just threw it into the seats.
You know how hard going 0-0-0-0 is? Anthony could have blocked the shot with his face, and he would have gotten at least something. It's even hard to show how bad it was. I mean, this vid is literally titled Joel Anthony's First Half Highlights, and the only thing to see is him running. What? But you never guess who holds this next record. I mean, everyone thinks they know who the youngest player ever is, but Andrew Bynum is actually the youngest NBA player of all time. And at just 18 years and 6 days old, he was forced to face the Diesel himself.
Passed out of 3, shoots the 2.
Oh, and Shaquille
O'Neal, Bynum will remember for the rest of his life.
Yes, he will. Went right back at him.
Shaq was out here practically bullying a 17-year-old, but not every young player can get psyched out that easily. And this is the one that everyone actually knows, Kobe Bryant, the youngest all-star starter ever.
They might be only 18 years and 5 months old, but this guy can do everything that the veterans can do and do it better, perhaps.
The fact that they already is saying he was better than veterans at 18 is seriously unreal. Bronny just turned 21. He ain't hitting veteran level in 50 lifetimes. But I'd rather have Bronny's life than whatever's happening to Jaylen Brown, because he's got one of the weirdest bad records of all time. The league leader in hairline turnovers.
Shut up.
Right, so Jaylen Brown got another victim right there.
Bro is the first NBA player ever to average 27 points and 3 haircuts per game. When you're losing your hairline more than LeBron, it's got to turn into its own stat, right? I mean, Tony Snell basically invented a stat for his best record, and he's actually one of the few players to have both one of the worst and best records. This man was literally 22 seconds off beating Joel Anthony to the 0-0-0 stat sheet, and yet somehow Snell's the only player to hit 50% 50% from the field, 50% from the three-point line, and 100% from free throw. Yeah, the same guy who once cardioed his way through a game is simultaneously the definition of perfect efficiency. But if you want to see the exact opposite of perfect, you gotta check out Cade Cunningham. Because this man wasn't just having an off night. He was shooting like he was blind, deaf, and dumb. Really dumb. And when the Pistons played the Wizards, he set a record for the most shots missed.
Just his aggressiveness. Oh my goodness.
No way he's making that play last year against a guy like Jalen Duren, which is good to keep
Game, guys.
Cunningham stripped by George, got it back.
I'm surprised the broadcast didn't stop showing the replays. Bro was shooting threes like Drake shoots DMs. He didn't even necessarily have to shoot either, because Scott Skiles got his record for being the best team player of all time when he set the record for the most assists in a game in 1990. And mind you, he hit this before the Shaq era, back when the Magic's offense was basically just Skiles and a lot of praying.
Assists are sort of a relative thing. You know, I can be out there making all those nice passes in the world, but if they don't put the ball in the hole, they're really nothing.
Skiles the little jump shot is up. It is good! Scott Skiles with his 40th assist for the night.
Bro dished out 30 assists that night. And the wildest part of it is, it's not like he was hunting for assists, because he still hit 22 points. Skiles probably could have thrown the ball straight up and gotten an assist. Coach Gukas must have been running laps around the court after those plays. But coaches don't always know what's best for the players, because during a 1997 Mavericks-Bulls game, Bulls coach Don Nelson put Bubba Wells in with one objective: foul Dennis Rodman into oblivion. See, Rodman had one of the worst free throw percentages that season, so if you could force him to the line and have him miss, his points per possession would fall off a cliff. But it kind of backfired.
And he's holding Dennis right now. He's got both arms around Dennis. And it's a foul.
And he will be back up at that free throw line again, and he knocks that one down. Wells has been in for a minute.
But he's got 3 fouls.
He's got 3 fouls in the basket. Well, that's activity.
If he misses it, gets the rebound.
He made them both.
Yeah, not only did Dennis hit a shocking 9 for 12 that night, but Bubba Wells did something even crazier. He got the record for the fastest time to foul out ever, 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Bro literally speed ran a full game, but Klay Thompson speed ran himself straight into the history books. Listen, we all know OG Wilt Chamberlain got the record for the most points in the game, but if Klay Thompson had locked in for all 4 quarters, he easily would have broken that, because when the Lakers played the Kings in 2015, he went the off.
Klay Thompson read the passing lane, comes up with a steal. Klay Thompson sets his feet. Klay Thompson triple. Yes, sir.
1 quarter, 37 points, and a record so ridiculous, it made the Kings look like pawns. But while the Kings were moving like NPCs that night, Jameson Curry practically forgot to load the game, because he was, by light years, the shortest NBA career ever. And it was one of the shortest contracts ever. From the Clippers for 10 days with 1 shot against the Celtics to prove his worth. And there went his only shot. Yeah, dead ass. That was his whole career. A damn timeout is 25 times longer than this man's career. But hey, it was still 3.9 seconds longer than I'll ever play, and way shorter than Iron Man's video game level record. By the way, if you don't know why AC Green is called Iron Man, you got absolutely zero ball knowledge. Nah, I'm playing. But he ain't called that for nothing, because from November 19th, 1986, all the way till April 18th of 2001, AC played the most consecutive games ever, 1,192. Now that's a record that's never breaking. I mean, these days, if you so much as sneeze on someone, they're going to the hospital. But I guess I can't clown him too hard, especially since Iron Man himself defended it.
When you see players, star players resting, taking rest, what do you think is the NBA Iron Man?
This is a good thing for today's player in the modern day era. It's cool. Let them just go ahead and do what they do.
You missed 3 games in your career.
He's way too humble. I'm sorry, but ain't no one coming that close to that number. And hopefully no one comes close to Kobe's bad record. Yeah, believe it or not, the Black Mamba has one of the worst records of all time. Even though he scored the most points in a modern NBA game and scored 33,643 points over his career, you kind of forget how many he must have missed along the way there.
Bryant. There's your record-setting miss.
But that was just the record setter. By the end of his career, he'd missed 14,181 shots. That's literally more missed than John Stockton ever attempted. But Jokic only needed to hit the basket 37 times to make history. Because in early 2025, Jokic dropped one of the craziest stat lines of all time. While the rest of the league was worried about rest days and coasting into the playoffs, Jokic was hitting a 61-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist triple-double.
Gobert and Edwards.
Jokic to the hole. Jokic in for the tie. Back on top and wants it a 3. Rebound Jokic. Gobert there behind the back.
He honestly barely looked like he was trying. But despite the all-time performance, the Nuggets blew it in overtime. Jokic had played 52 minutes with maybe just the greatest stat line ever, and they still left empty-handed. But while Jokic is hitting every shot he could, Ben Wallace is missing every shot that he couldn't make anyway. Because across his entire career, he has the record for the worst free throw percentage ever, only hitting an abysmal 41%.
The rebound could go anywhere. It's an air ball.
Oh, he didn't catch any iron.
Airballing from the line is crazy. But during 2001, his worst year by miles, he only made 33.6%. You can straight up close your eyes, spin in a circle, and still do better than this.
Ben Wallace, one of the worst free throw shooters in the history of the NBA, to use one of your phrases. However, this year from the line, he's at 60%.
Bruh, Wallace really gave a whole new meaning to nothing but net. But Steph Curry didn't just reinvent a phrase with his records. He practically reinvented the whole game of basketball. So obviously, we got to talk about his best friend, the three-point line.
Curry facing a triple team, fires and hit.
See, when it comes to threes, Steph isn't just the leader, he's lapping everyone. Because he basically got every three stat you could ever imagine. 402 threes in the 2015 season.
Curry for three, good.
16 threes in an All-Star game.
Moments ago, Jokic and a three by Curry. Someone in hockey says we can't keep up. Another three. Come in!
And when he passed Ray Allen's all-time record, instead of slowing down, he sped up, going all the way up to 4,108 threes and still counting.
Here's Curry for the record. It's good! And there it is! Stephen Curry! The all-time three-point king of the NBA!
At this point, he's probably memorized every atom on the court because he's shot from every square inch of that paint. And if all that wasn't enough, get this, he also hit a three in 268 straight games and then stole the second place for streaks by hitting a three in 157 games. Look, you may not be the basketball GOAT, but stealing first and second place for yourself is about as close as you can get to Michael Jordan behavior, whereas the entire 2018 Rockets team is about as far as you can get from Jordan. See, there are off nights for players.
2 seconds, 1 second. Oh, he missed it at the horn.
And there are cold streaks for teams.
The highest scoring game in franchise history, 152 points.
And then there's whatever possessed the Houston Rockets in Game 7 of the 2018 Western Conference Finals.
Harden behind the screen.
If you didn't catch it, in the first clip, James Harden did something called starting a streak, because with that missed three, not a single person on the Rockets could make a three.
There's the corner three from Gordon is open for three. Oh, Ariza turning and shooting.
And it didn't stop at just 3 missed threes, or 5, or even 10, or 20. The streak only ended after 27 straight were missed. Yeah, and the most messed up part, somehow they only lost the game by 10, which is kinda unreal for an entire team, considering LeBron made it his life's goal to be hitting as many shots as inhumanly possible. See, while most players have a couple 2 to 3 years or 3 to 5 year burst of greatness, LeBron never had a single one. He had 2 decades of straight greatness. And after 20 years of that kind of output, he hit a record that no one's breaking for a while.
LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record.
For nearly 40 years, Kareem's record was treated like Mount Everest. Players like Jordan, Kobe, Malone, Durant, the closest any of them got was 2,000 away. So seeing LeBron pass it wasn't just unexpected, it seemed impossible. But he didn't just pass it either. He's flown past it, adding an extra 4,000 points on top of what everyone had already thought was unbreakable. King James is putting the finish line so far into the future that you'll probably need a 20-year career to come even close. And I don't even know if that kind of streak is possible anymore, especially when you even got Philly hitting legendary streaks. Well, maybe more like infamous than legendary. Because imagine building a team by losing on purpose. Seems like a weird tactic, right? One could even say stupid. And yet, that's exactly what the 76ers did. Because under GM Sam Hinkie, the team adopted this plan. Give up wins now so you can get unbreakable later. Accumulate high draft picks, pick young stars, and of course, trust the process.
Thank you, Joel.
That's the process.
And trust the process they did, because over the next 3 years, they absolutely sucked. But on their worst streak, between the end of the 2014 season and the start of the 2015 season, the Sixers tied their own worst streak of 26, then went on to beat it with 28 straight losses. And honestly, respect to the players. Making losing part of their job title for 3 years has to be one of the most humbling tactics of all time. And a lot of players could use a lesson in humility. But honestly, some players earn their egos, especially Russell Westbrook.
Adams
Gives it back to Russ. Deep shot. Get it! What a perfect ending to a historic day. Westbrook gives the Thunder the victory at the buzzer.
Not only did this psycho hit a 50-point triple-double, he did it to end his streak of triple-doubles. In the streak, 42 straight games with an average of 31, 10, and 10. And that's the difference between him and Joker. Because even though Jokic went Super Saiyan for one night, Westbrook was activating his ult every other game.
He favors that left shoulder. He told Jokic, this is the three.
Westbrook runs right onto the rebound, kicks it to the corner. And he's got it.
You know you did something special when the other team's fans are cheering you on, but no one was cheering Rasheed Wallace on for his record. Because this man doesn't just hold one record for fouls, he holds the 3 worst records for fouls. And in 2001, he set the single-season record for technical fouls with 41. To put that in perspective, an NBA season is 82 games. Bro was averaging a tech every other night like it was part of his training. But if you want to talk about how many times those techs got him out the game, it gets crazy. When your ejection ends up being one of the most iconic moments ever, you know you're doing something right, or more like wrong. Because by the end of his career, he had a record with 29 ejections. And to top it off, he also was the fastest ejection ever, just 85 seconds.
Timeout LA. Whack! Get out! Get away from me, Steve. Get away from me, Steve. He didn't say a word. Technical foul, Wallace. He's gone. I'm done. He's gone. I have already told Mike twice before to have him stop staring to try to intimidate me. He did it again. He's gone.
Guess he was standing there a little too menacingly for the ref. But that's not the only performance that scared people. Because in 1986, one record came into existence from a performance that has still not been erased. Not even by Joker's triple-dub. And obviously, it's Michael Jordan's 63-pointer. But before you can see the gameplay, you gotta understand why this was so insane. I mean, yeah, it's still insane now. But back then, Jordan couldn't have been more of an underdog. Not only did he miss most of the season with a broken foot, but he was going up against the Celtics. And at the time, it was the best in the league, and it wasn't a debate. They were 40-1 at home, finished the season 67-15, and had an S-tier lineup of Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, and even Bill Walton. So with that in mind, just try to imagine their surprise when Jordan pulled up and did this.
Is the tempo of the game by the Bulls to try and get some fast break opportunity.
Jordan found his way in once again. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper.
It was the Christmas massacre, but
here he is, the move and the basket. Long range, Jordan hits it. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
He didn't just look like he was breaking a sweat. He dunked on the Celtics so hard, they even agreed. I mean, it got to the point where even Larry Bird said it had to be divine intervention. But OKC would have killed for some extra help when they set the record for the worst loss of all time. Normally, you'd expect a record this bad to be in the early days of the NBA, maybe from a forgotten expansion team, right? Wrong. Because the worst loss of all time didn't just happen this century, it happened this decade. And what makes Oklahoma's loss to Memphis especially bad is that they literally spent time gathering an Avengers team. Russell Westbrook, fresh off an MVP year, Paul George, newly acquired, and Carmelo Anthony, because why the hell not? And with that kind of lineup, you'd expect the Thunder to be one of those dishing out L's. Instead, they lost by 73 points, 152-79.
Oh my God. 73 points. The Oklahoma City Thunder lost by 73 points. The largest margin of defeat in NBA history. The Memphis Grizzlies bench, ladies and gentlemen, just the bench, outscored the Thunder 93-72. I mean, damn.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Steve. That's one of the most pathetic performances I've ever had the displeasure of seeing. But everyone wishes they could go back to the 70s Lakers. Sure, the Lakers roster is looking pretty raw right now, but their best roster of all time was from 1971 to 1972, when they sat with the best winning streak of all time. Not just in basketball either. This is the longest winning streak of any of the 4 major U.S. sports. And it all started when Bill Sharman joined the team as head coach, because he was there to make a legit difference. I mean, by that point, the Lakers had lost the finals 7 times. So there was really nowhere left to go but up. And to make things worse, Jerry West was 33, Will Chamberlain 35, and Elgin Baylor 37. Not only were they desperate for a championship, but soon there wouldn't be enough time to get one. Well, Bill decided he was going to change that quick. Because because when he said he wanted to make a faster, up-tempo team, he meant it. When Elgin complained he couldn't run or jump as well anymore, Bill kicked him from the starting lineup. And since Elgin was unwilling to be a part-time player, just 9 games into the season, he retired. Straight up, that might be one of the worst decisions in sporting history. Sure, from Elgin's POV, they were only 6-3 into the season, so no one would be hurt by his departure. And he was right. No one got hurt except himself, because from there on out, the Lakers became one of the most well-oiled machines of all time. When Bill told the high-scoring Wilt to become a rebounding, fast-break machine, he did. When he told West to pass more, he did. Goodrich turned into the high scorer, and when Jim McMillan stepped in, he fit right in. A good quality scorer, a very, very good defensive player, and so at that point, there was no drop-off, and they were off. November 5th, 1971, they beat the Bullets, and that was the spark they needed, because they went on to beat 3 teams in 3 nights and 5 teams in 6 days. That 5th win was a 40-point blowout against Philly, too, and it only got better from there. They dropped 22 on Portland, 28 on Cleveland, and nearly 30 on Detroit, and maintained an average margin of 16 points the whole streak. By November 21st, they had earned the longest streak record officially with 21 games. Then, casually went on to win 13 more for a total of 33 wins. But they weren't done yet. Even though they finished the year 69-13, they still had the playoffs. And well, they beat the Bulls in 4, the Bucks in 6, and then took home the big trophy over the Knicks in 5. And still, 50 years later, no one touched that record. Not Jordan's Bulls, Steph Warriors, or even LeBron's Heat. Golden State was the closest, and even they only hit 28. But while the Lakers have the record everyone's dying to see get beaten, the Bobcats hold a record that you don't want to get close to. Because the 2011 Charlotte Bobcats are mathematically and literally the worst team in NBA history. Just how bad were they? Let me put it this way. Even though the season was shortened, they still couldn't reach double digits in wins. The team got blown out by 20 regularly. A 40-point loss was barely surprising, and opponents were just padding stats every chance they got. And it wasn't hard, considering the Bobcats passed the ball to them more than their own team. That roster, look, no disrespect, but half these guys couldn't have walked past reporters every day and gotten recognized. By the end of the season, they actually were recognizable, only because they put up an abysmal record of 7-59, with a winning percentage of just .106, the lowest in NBA history. That's so bad, you can't even be like, well, at least our team isn't the Bobcats. Bro, if your team is even close to the 2011 Bobcats, I'd recommend changing fan bases.